Oh, hey, how's it going? It's been a minute. Right, I should be a little bit more formal with this. How's it going, you beautiful sons and guns? My name's the Dapper Saint, and this is a bad place to talk, isn't it? Give me 1 second. Ah, much better. There we go, a nice little background for a good conversation. However, it is kind of like raining right now. Excuse me, can someone like reset the weather, please? Oh, much better. So, I know that I haven't been really around, and I haven't said much, haven't made a sound, so today I'm gonna talk about that a little bit. Because there's a lot that's happened, even both in like virtual reality, my setup-wise, and also the fact of like, even in Vrchat. Like look, they even added a cube into VR recently. Isn't that cool? Gosh, wouldn't it be so silly if somebody just made an entire video over this dumb cube? But before we get off topic, I probably should talk about what exactly all has happened. And it all started with... yeah, that. So, computers are pretty cool, except for when they're not. And I think I don't need to elaborate on that because everybody knows exactly what I mean. So understand when I say the fact that my computer just decided to go no, I mean it quite literally. More specifically, the fact that every time I boot up VR, I would get... yeah, it sucked. And I'm not saying then the fact of being lazy or anything. We checked literally everything about my computer, and just for some reason, my OS decided to die. The worst part about this is the fact that it wasn't even that big of a deal for the vast majority of my computer stuff. It just got in the way of the most important stuff, which was VR, YouTube shit, and of course video editing. I still don't know why this was the case. It was just very, very upsetting. So I did exactly what every rational person does in a situation that's stressful. Yeah, I had to wipe everything, it wasn't pretty. Luckily, I backed up the vast majority of stuff until some stuff broke, and then I lost a lot of things such as my intro, my outro, and then of course some 2 major videos I was working on. And situations like that make you kinda spiral a bit. Not so much of the fact of mentally, but more of just the fact of when it rains it pours, and a lot of stuff was happening IRL. Don't get me wrong, for the most part a lot of that stuff is good, but a lot of stuff happened nonetheless. And you're probably curious about all that, so this is the perfect moment for a montage. What all happened exactly? Well... I went on a trip, celebrated birthdays, celebrated more birthdays, celebrated a lot of birthdays. There were a lot of birthdays during this time. Ate fondue, and I mean in real life. Cleaned my room. Played Helldivers. Yeah, I'm sure no one's shocked by that one. Made whatever this thing is.
Do you like cookies? Cause I love to bake.
I'm gonna make you snickerdoodles. I got a lightsaber. And of course, touched grass. Just kidding, that's overrated. But to say that a lot has happened would be a bit of an understatement. Either way, I'm finally back, and with all the budget being used at the beginning of this video, let's just chat for a second. If I had to be perfectly blunt, it was a whole lot of kinda happened at the right time sort of situation, and it gave me a reason to actually like take a break and do a lot of more IRL stuff for a little bit, make sure that everything was going well. So one thing led to another, and it came a little bit of a moment of just trying to get YouTube off of my brain for once. It's something that I learned a while back when I was taking this break, and that's during this time I realized I haven't really had a single moment in the last 5 years where there's been a day I haven't thought of YouTube. It's kind of weird to think about, because it's even if I'm doing good and everything mentally, and I'm doing very good for the most part, it'd be a bit of an understatement. I'm a bit of a brick shithouse fortitude-wise. But it is kind of odd, because I never really thought about the fact of like a day without thinking of YouTube. Even if it's like good stuff like, oh, I have an idea, or oh, that would be really fun. More so I just kind of wanted to turn my brain off, you know? So the break persisted a little bit longer past everything including my computer stuff, because that was a bit of a low blow when everything kind of got destroyed and wiped and I lost a lot of things. So I wanted to come back on my terms, you know, like come when I felt right, when it felt good. And that's why I've more of just been sprinkling videos, and I haven't really stayed consistent at all for the last like, gosh, it's been 2 months now, basically. Holy shit. This is the obligatory moment where I'd be like, oh, you know, I love you guys. I'm so happy to be back and everything. I can't wait to give it 110%, but like, I don't know, you already know that. So, like, yeah, I don't know how to end this. Didn't really think about this. I think to elaborate further, it's one of those things where sometimes it felt like a sheer obligation. I kind of had to make something and stuff. And that sucked because that felt like my quality was worse because of that. And that part hits hard and everything when I'm having to take like restrictions on myself because of the fact that I need to get a video done in time. Because like, you know, I do this stuff because I like making people laugh. I like enjoying my time doing YouTube stuff. And the moment it becomes an obligation, I think is the moment that things go wrong. Especially because like, bro, I like freedom, I like being creative, I like making stupid shit, and if I have to stop myself from making stupid shit, well that's stupid. What I'm trying to say is the fact that I would rather take my time making 1 to 2 videos a week and being a bit inconsistent than appeasing the YouTube algorithm because of the fact that if I don't, womp womp, no views. Anyway, I think that about does it. There you go. Happy birthday. Would you like me to celebrate your birthday too? If you got this far into the video and my yap fest, maybe leave a happy birthday there. That'd be great, and you can confuse everybody else why they're doing it. Of course, comment something actually productive too. But I think that about does it, so look forward to some absurd shit and everything. That's the best way I'm gonna describe it. With that said though, I think it's overdue that I say this, so honestly at the end of the day, all I can ask is to have a wonderful night tonight. And as always, stay dapper. I actually do giggle for some reason, awkwardly after every time I do that. You probably notice that at the end of videos at times. End the video, damn it.